just so small rectangular objects. They're called books.
Welcome to episode 61 of Unlocking Great Books.
Season 5 wrap.
Season 5 wrap.
How you doing, Sean?
Good. It's great to be here and a little bit sad, I have to say, Carl. Like we're at the end of as you know as listeners, we do seasons, so we had a bundle of books. There's a little bit of thinking that goes on into each season. We've tried our Pearsies, I don't know what our methodology will call it, but I'm pairing books week to week just so that we've got some contrasts and things like that. But we're here with another pile of 10 books.
And what a range of books. I was just looking back over season 5. The first half of the season is just straight Sean and Carl, isn't it? It's all about productivity and performance.
Yes, so we're into our
comfort
genre.
crisis. Yeah.
Yes.
Resilience Project, calling bullshit, filled up, but that's all straight in our wheelhouse. And then we take a deep dive into some sociology of the theory of the leisure classes. That's
right.
And we do a lot of fiction.
Yes.
And then we end on a metaphysical high with Zen and the Art of Motorcycle.
That's right.
What a season. What do those books say about us?
Well, I don't know. That we read widely. Hopefully that comes through. I've enjoyed diving a little bit deeper into some books that, as I've mentioned before, I read books that I might not normally read because of this podcast. So that's a healthy thing. And I think that was evidenced by the theory of the leisure class and Zen. They may be things that I might not go to, but so at the same time.
Which of these 10 really rocked your world?
I still hold The Comfort Crisis up there as probably the best book in that pile, for lots of reasons. It's one of those books that really confirms a few things, but it really got me thinking about the bigger picture stuff, which is really helpful, isn't it? So, what about yourself?
Well, I mean, some of these are my children, right?
That's right.
As I said at the time, we use calling bullshit in our teaching.
Yes.
I love it. Zen and the Art of Motorcycle Maintenance.
Of course.
Yes. Some of the fiction we talked about. I love The Comfort Crisis. Yeah. I mean, I'm really glad I read The Resilience Project. I'm super impressed with that as a project. Yeah.
It's hard, isn't it?
It is hard.
It's like, who's your favourite child? You can't do that.
It's
easy for me because I've got one.
You can do that. You should just never do that.
Yes, out loud. Yeah, and it changes day to day.
So, what was the most? I mean, obviously, parking Veblen. What was the hardest book for you?
Probably. I'd have to say Zen and the Art of Motorcycle Maintenance.
Right.
But it was a good hard, and I was talking to a friend on the weekend about that book. And we were reflecting on the conversation that we had about reading it again. And I found it really interesting that I had the experience that you talked about, which is the whole, because the book's got so many layers, you engage with one of those layers, but you probably have to come back and engage with another layer.
Yeah.
And it's like, that's the genius of the book, isn't it? And potentially the frustration for a lot of people.
Let's play with that, right? Given you have hundreds of books to read.
Yes.
Where does rereading Zen fit into your reading plan?
I think at some point, but I'd let it sit for a while, I think, because, reading it and then talking about it's probably lodged it in there.
We've talked about this before, haven't we? I mean, the fact that we have to talk about these books in depth on this podcast changes the way we read them. That's...
totally.
You just have to pay more attention to it.
Yes, you can't kind of sit and let things wildly
So the book I think
past.
that rocked my world the most out of this series, believe it or not, was The Radium Girls.
Right, okay.
And only because, we all know that story. I knew that story. I knew the history. But it's so confronting.
Yeah.
It's just so brutal. It's so inhumane. And you think, how could this possibly have happened?
Yeah. And it did, yeah. And we seem to have as we mentioned in the show, we have a habit of just doing these things over and over again and not really learning from it.
What I like is we were motivated to start reading some more fiction thanks to that great New York Times article that said men don't read fiction. But in future, do you think we need to bring some more of our fiction into our work? Or
I quite like the idea of the piles.
Okay.
And maybe like there's something we can explore. I like, you don't want an episode to just blast through 30 things and
Yeah. But it's your point, though, right? Like, the problem with doing fiction is, how do you talk about a fiction book? It's like talking about a movie, right? Without giving away the
Well,
spoilers.
a great example. We've got the Word Festival coming up in Christchurch. So, book festival, authors come and talk. Like they talk around the book.
Yeah.
Like they don't talk about the book. In the fiction
Right.
sense. So,
Yes.
so
Yeah.
we're not. What we're navigating is what everyone else navigates. However, there is a really important story to talk about in the fiction world, and I think it's a good challenge to keep putting some books out there.
Right.
Yeah, and when we talked about it just before we jumped on, the whole point of this is to encourage you to read
Absolutely.
as a listener. So, it's great that we read, and it's
Well, that's a great point, right? Like, so
Yeah.
Chris, good friend of the show, sent you a ChatGPT summary of
Yes.
the theory of leisure classes. And look, it was amusing.
yeah,
But it's not reading the book.
Yeah.
And it's not as a substitute for reading the book.
that's right. So we stand by that. Encourage you to read. You don't have to read everything that we read. Of course, you might not like the things that I like, and I don't like the things that Carl likes, and that's what the whole point of it is. But the discernment comes from reading, doesn't it? Like the fact that you can pick up a book and go, I really love that for these reasons. You can't do that unless you're reading other things. So,
That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
Have you, so, my rule was I give a book 60 pages to hook me.
Yeah.
And if it doesn't hook me after 60 pages,
You abandon.
abandon it, right? I'm actually no better at that, but I've come to terms with that's the deal, right? There's so many books to read.
There
you
is.
have 60 pages to hook me or I'm out.
Yeah.
But you got further than 60 pages through Veblen.
I did. Yeah. So I'll give myself some credit.
Right.
I don't have the 60-page rule though.
Right.
So
Okay.
yeah. I think I do try and persist to the end on books, and I know you shouldn't. Like in theory,
Life's
you
too
probably
short.
you probably shouldn't. Yeah. You don't need to read all the books. Yada yada yada. But sometimes you never know where it's going to land, and I think maybe I stick at some too long. I don't know.
Okay. So given part of what we believe is that, books can change your life, what's changed for you as a result of reading these 10 books? Sorry,
Well,
I should have warned you that was coming.
There's a big question.
Yeah, right.
I think I'm more interested. Some of these books get you interested in other things, and like potentially historical fiction is something I do want to read more of. And I've actually just started a historical kind of a more historically based book. It's probably, it's non-fiction, but it's told in more of a storytelling way, and I think it's really insightful to reflect on history, isn't it, and learn from history, and this seems a way that I can consume it in a better way. So so we had those books, obviously Radium Girls and Hidden Figures, which are in that genre, and we've talked about others before, but I do think it's a really good way to consume. So that's, for me, I feel like I'll probably read more of those books. Yeah.
So the obvious question is, would you have a go at writing one, right? Like during that episode, we talked about writing fiction.
Yeah.
Like about how we write all sorts
know.
of things. We write all around it. But when's the last time you
not
wrote
at not
short
at the
story?
moment.
Oh.
Not at the moment. I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah. Never say never. That was a good call out.
There's a great great classic novel from the 50s or 60s set in England, in the north of England. People will be screaming at their phones telling me the author's name. I can't remember it, but the book's called The Loneliness of the Long Distance Runner.
Oh, yes. Yeah. I don't do enough long distance running. I've distanced myself from the loneliness. What about you?
Yeah, so it was really good to reread Slow Productivity, even though we didn't like it, because we liked it a lot, but we thought if you're getting into time management and Cal Newport, there's better places to start.
Yeah.
So that took me back and reminded me of some of the things that I had done but stopped doing. Time blocking.
Yeah.
Things like that.
Yeah.
That really helped.
The habits.
Comfort Crisis reminded me that
probably similar things, isn't it? What changes?
The bits that are really uncomfortable are often the most important parts.
Yeah.
Be careful of the life of
I still want to fly into Alaska and do a crazy trip.
do you? You don't want to shoot a caribou, though?
Oh, maybe not. Okay. Yeah. But they are good reminders, aren't they? This is the thing.
Well, even
if
the Resilience Project, which is a book I didn't love, but that idea of mental health is about really simple things, but it's about habits and patterns. Go back to your habits and patterns.
Yeah.
Don't miss twice.
And sometimes reading a book reminds you that you might have dropped a few. Yeah. Or
And The Filter Bubble, it was good to read that again because
man,
I'm making myself read news media sources that I wouldn't normally to try and get a balance, to remind myself that I'm getting fed a particular view of the world just like everybody else.
Yeah.
Right. And so
multiple sources
on
on the same
Yeah.
stuff. Good. Well, these are all good reasons.
They are all good reasons.
So we're not doing a long episode today. Have you got a book that you're looking forward to coming up?
Well, I always have books that I'm looking forward to. Like I've hundreds of books that I'm looking forward to.
You've got a whole shelf of books, actually. I'm just reflecting on
Like
that
I
question
literally think I have 300 books to read on my to read shelf.
Yes.
Which, even the way I read, that's
a long time.
That's 4 or 5 years
yes.
reading.
Yeah. So you're
and I'm adding to them as quickly as I'm reading them. But I'm reading a brilliant book at the moment called Infantilized, which is about how about how modern society turns adults into children, and how this long arc of adulthood takes people a lot longer to become adults,
right?
And how society is valuing youth and children over adult wisdom. So that's interesting. Yeah.
Interesting.
So I'm quite excited about that. What about you? I mean, mate, you're getting as bad as me. Where I look, there are piles of books.
Well, I've just knocked my way through The Psychology of Money, which I really enjoyed. Morgan Housel. That was a good reminder. And the one I've mentioned, now I can't remember the author's name. It's all about E=mc squared.
Right.
So the equation, the history of the terms, the history of what came after that equation, where it came from.
That could be great.
It's really cool, actually. I actually did the.
I know the book. I can see the cover of the book.
I did the era of starting it while finishing another book, so I got two at once. But I really enjoyed diving into that. When you jump into a book and the first few pages, you're like, I'm going to enjoy this. I think.
It's like jumping to the cool sea on a warm day.
Yes.
Hey, thinking of The Psychology of Money, maybe next season we should do a couple of Psychology of Money books, because it'd be a great opportunity to do Dave Mack's book.
Yes, of course. Yeah.
That'd be a great debate.
Yes. Yeah. So we both share. We'll enjoy David McWilliams, for sure. And I think I've told 1,000 people about his podcast.
Yeah, the podcast is great.
After I randomly got connected to it sitting next to a guy on a plane.
Right.
And he's coming to Christchurch, so hopefully
he's doing a world tour for his book.
Yeah. But we'll pick up on that. But if there's anything that people want to shout out, books, etc., we don't get lots of correspondence from people, but feel free to just get in touch.
Connect with us.
We have an old school email address.
Right.
You can comment on the show, all that kind of stuff. But and another slightly serious point: if you do enjoy this, send an episode on to someone. It's an interesting genre to dip into, and I feel like people might dip into particular books in our back history.
Well, that would make sense,
of course, but or bump into it that way. But if you, if you really liked a book and you want to share it with someone and get someone to have a read of it, then this might be a good start. Yeah. So,
the point we make every week when we launch an episode, right, is if any of these books pique your interest, go and support your local bookshop.
Yes.
Because you've got to miss them when they go gone.
Yeah, totally.
And
hopefully that won't happen. But, it seems that books are holding on a little bit, and bookshops are holding on.
Here in Otatahi, Christchurch, we love Scorpio Books. We love Clocks Bookshop.
Yes.
And Strowan.
Yeah.
Do you have any other favourites? I love UBS, I guess, on campus.
Yeah, you do. Who's our friends down in Addington?
Of course, and the Addington Cafe.
Oh yes, we've got Bruce.
Bruce, that's a great.
He's always Addington Co-op.
Yeah, I mean that's brutal, right? Because he does such a good job of curating those tables. You walk in, get a coffee, and think I'll just walk out with a few books.
Yes, and you usually do. So get down, support your local bookshop, read some more stuff, and we'll be back at some point.
Very soon.
To be determined.
All right.
Okay.
Cheers, Sean.
Cheers.